Hello everyone, and I hope you're ready for the stream tonight, because it's not just an ordinary stream, boys and girls. It's American Truck Simulator time. TehTater requested this game, more like a lifestyle if you ask me. So without further ado, we're gonna jump right in, and we're gonna drive, boys. We're gonna drive. And we're gonna drive some more. So I hope you're ready to drive.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. Hope you all are having a great night. And yes, I'm aware that's horribly loud, but there's not much I can do about it. Yet, at least. So welcome in. Sorry about the horrible volume. Let me see if I can turn it down on my mixer here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in Elizabeth, Top B, and Inverted. Good to see all of you. Glad you made it out tonight for this troll stream by none other than TehTater himself. So we are going to go ahead and make a profile here. And yes, the question of the day is simply, do you enjoy driving? I think we've done a similar one before, but this is what it is. We're doing that for our question of the day. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this thing started here. So we have to choose a company logo. I mean, obviously we got to be like the halfway racist Native American one. We got to go with the yellow truck, of course. Oh wait, are we females? No, we're gonna be big burly men, by golly, because we're truck drivers. Oh, we got a lot of faces to pick from here. All right, friends, what are we thinking? What are we thinking for the face? What are we going with? We have a lot of options. Way too many options, honestly. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? To get the most truck driver looking? So this guy? This guy? This guy? This guy's pretty good. Definitely not that one. This guy's pretty good. He has a beard. I like this guy. I mean, I think we've made our decision. I think we've made our decision, friends. Is there any other choice? Is there any other choice? Perfect. Alright, company name. Alright, what's our company name gonna be? Our company name is gonna be... It's gonna be Drive Shift. Drive Shift. English... California's use Steam Cloud. I don't even know what this option down here is. Alright, so this is it, huh? Alright, we got it. Let's create this. Select control method. Drive using the keyboard and look around the world with the mouse. The simplest but least precise form of control. Use the mouse for more sensitive steering. Other actions are still performed on the keyboard. You can use the mouse to look around only if you simultaneously hold a special camera control key or controllers. I don't have controllers. Drive using the keyboard and look around the world with the mouse, or use the mouse for more sensitive steering. Okay, so I guess it's like, do I want to steer with the mouse, or do I want to use like WASD? We'll just go with the keyboard. I think it'll be the most easy. Alright. Select gearbox type. The simplest driving method designed especially for the keyboard control. Press forward to drive forward, back to brake and reverse. The gearbox will handle everything else for you. Switching between driving, real automatic, ideal for wheels with pedals, sequential, manually shift gears. Oh no, we're definitely doing simple automatic. No, we're doing simple automatic. Because we don't have pedals. The game is now configured and you can continue. Finish the wizard. Well, we're going to win the game. We're going to finish the wizard. You guys can't see it, but it does say finish the wizard. Finish wizard. Alright, let's do it. Let's kill the wizard. Boom, baby! We are simulated. We are simulated and stimulated, baby. Select the city that you want to start in. Okay. Well, I mean... Is there any place better than... I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. What do you think, everybody? Where should we go? Where should our starting city be? Anybody from any of these places? Anybody want me to choose their hometown out there? You know it, Inverted. At least 2 hours if it's garbage. If it's good, we'll go 3. Which actually does have good reviews. It's not my type of game at all. But we're trying it. Oh, okay, so you actually move the map around. Oh, I want to be in Washington. Capital in Arizona? Oh yeah, you were in Arizona for a while, right? Inverted, or was that Claude? Maybe it was Claude. So you want me to go Phoenix, Arizona? Nope. Not doing it. We're doing Grand Canyon. Oh, I can't do Grand Canyon Village. Never mind. Alright, Phoenix, Arizona it is. Do you want to walk through the tutorial? Yes. I want to get to the freaking settings when you turn down the music. Dear Lord. Achievement! Achievement, baby. Monday, 10 a.m. Current job, furniture, Phoenix. Welcome to American Truck Simulator. I just accidentally skipped the tutorial. I hit escape. I just want to get... Oh, here we go. I actually got something. Okay, options. Oh, look at this. You only had to get freaking 18 freaking things in. Alright. Alright, let me fix this. Let me turn it back up in my mixer. Alright. Boom. We're just going to turn it way down. We'll leave everything else on default. Graphics. We'll just leave it on default. I'm not super worried about it. Online is not connected to World of Trucks. I don't even know what World of Trucks is, but I don't think we're worried about that. Desktop background theme. Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're doing this one. Or do a random one. Oh, okay. Alright, there we go. We have our settings adjusted, baby. Wait, radio? Put your songs into American Truck Simulator music folder. Or and listen to your favorite internet radio in-game. Oh, wow, that's bizarre, but okay. So apparently you have like a radio you can do. Okay. Alright, so I need to do the tutorial again is the problem. I've accidentally skipped the tutorial, friends. Save game. Save. Alright, we have saved the game. What happens if we quit? Is this gonna close the whole thing? It did close the whole thing. Alright, we're learning. We're learning. TehTater inspired you to likely redeem Desert Bus? Why is that, Inverted? Why is that? Alright, let's try to start this thing back up, man. This is already a high quality game if I've ever seen one. Might as well. Gotcha, gotcha. Alright, here we go. We're gonna get this rolling this time. I really wish I could have just like dressed up like a trucker and just went all into this like character tonight, but I just didn't have that option. Allow? Okay, so let's continue the game. We're not going to be able to do that tutorial again. I know it. I know we're not going to. So you know what? We're going to go in blind, baby. Please let me do a tutorial, please. You know how long the entire soundtrack for this game is? 20 minutes. For the entire soundtrack. At least it's not, like, miserable. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Alright, no tutorial, baby. We're going. We're going at it. We've started the engine. Or maybe we're in the tutorial. Oh, maybe we're still in the tutorial. Okay. You can use the following keys to move. Drive forward a few meters and then stop. There are other camera views available. Interior, chasing cam. That's awful. Roof cam. Lean out cam. Bumper camera. On the wheel camera. And drive-by camera. I think we'll stick with this one. Maybe... Honestly, maybe the drive-by cam's kind of good. What do you think? What do you think is better? You think this or this? Probably this, right? Yeah. Need to be up close and personal. It's time to make a delivery. Use Route Advisor to see where you are and where you need to go. Press F1 to look closer. F1 or pause. Pause or unpause the game. F2, toggle side mirrors. Okay. Sure, we'll leave them on. Toggle Route Advisor modes. When the game is paused, you can control Route Advisor with the mouse. You have a sat nav called Route or Route Advisor, available at all times. Route Advisor displays your current status and helps you with information about your current job and points you where to go. Okay, that seems pretty straightforward. Shortcut keys assigned to the most often used functions. The available keys are suggested directly by Route Advisor. So speed, gear damage, contents of package, page toggle, switch between navigation, current job description, truck diagnostics. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Use the mouse cursor to control the Route Advisor. I like how, like... Why does clicking that stop the music? What the heck? We're a disappointed or a proud American? Oh, and you hit, like, F1? Oh, okay. It's time to make a delivery. F1. Okay. The navigation map shows your current position as a blue arrow. It also shows the shortest route to your destination in red. There's an estimation of the remaining trip time and distance. F5. Okay. Interesting. Switch to job description F6. Cargo, furniture, destination, Phoenix Sell Goods, expected. Job income 600. Next rest stop in 13 hours. Job description summarizes what you're carrying and where. Tells you when you expected, how much time you have left, how much money you'll receive. F7. On the diagnostics page, you can see how badly your truck trailer and your cargo are damaged. You can be repaired at a service station in the city. You can also call road assistance by hitting a yellow button for a fee that will take you to the nearest city, okay? On the diagnostics page, it's the same thing. This is all you need to know about Route Advisor by pushing the help button. To unpause the game and continue playing, press F1. All set and ready to go. Follow navigation towards your destination. So I need to hit F5. There we go. Okay. Alright. Alright, how do we get out of here? Oh man, the sensitivity for this is like so low. I have to freaking turn up my DPI. Yeah, it's too high. Was that not an option I could set? Hold on. Steering sensitivity? This definitely goes in depth. Hey, Streamer Elite, welcome in. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Maybe it's this? I don't think it's the steering sensitivity. I don't think that's right. Yeah, I'll just turn on my DPI if I have to. Alright, I'm gonna make do with this, improvise. Alright, here we go. We are simulating the American truck experience right now, baby. Right freaking now. Let's see, I know one thing about trucks, and that's that you have to take wide right turns, right? Or is it left turns? I've seen it on the back of a truck once. You can call me an expert anytime. Okay. We may have a problem. May have to back up a little bit here. Maybe I didn't take it quite steep enough. Alright, let's just turn. Hey! Where's the horn? Where's the freaking horn? Oh no. I've hit some button. Oh, okay. Truck pulling out and they just keep on rolling. Alright, let's drive, baby. Look at this. Look at this high quality content right here, friends. This really makes you feel like an American truck driver. I have simulated the experience perfectly. This is 100% realistic in every way. This is, as it said there at the top, America's finest. Where's the horn? I'll look and see if I have a horn button. Okay, I probably should have slowed down. Okay? Okay, you know, trucks have a little bit of a time to stop. But you know what? Sometimes you learn the hard way. At least we didn't go barreling through the guardrail, you know? There are some good things. Alright, here we go, baby. We are on the highway. No one thought it was possible. But here we are. Today. Making the ultimate drive. 50 miles per hour. Look at this high speed action. Alright, here we go. We are successfully driving, friends. Look at this. We're actually speeding. We are just hardcore speeding now, like real truck drivers. We don't give a crap about other motorists. We want to get our package where it needs to be. Hey, there's a truck friend. We're not going to worry about him. Alright, here we go. Look at all these truck friends. Hey, there's a double-decker. Hey, welcome, friend. Gonna beat you there, though. Get my payday. Oh, I missed a turn. I was supposed to turn. Oh, panic! Panic turn! Panic turn! Here we go. Alright, here we go. Alright. Just like a real truck driver, sometimes you have to get stuck on a mountain. You have to get stuck on the mountain. Okay. All is good. Okay. We're gonna do what they call a 360 spin out technique. This is an advanced maneuver that is actually came from Canada. It actually came from Canada originally, but as you can tell, we do parking brake engaged. Oh, I had the parking brake on. We see the parking brake was a safety measure to make sure we didn't accidentally, take a wrong turn or anything there. So, okay, we're gonna go ahead and go back up the road the original way. That was just an alternate path I was showing you guys. But as you can tell, there's multiple ways to get where you need to be. So we're back on the road now. So we're making some good progress. So we're just gonna continue following this route and get that true American trucking experience. So as a true American truck driver, this brings back so many memories, so many stories from days of old. It brings back memories of the days I used to sleep while driving. True story. Brings back that feeling of just your eyes just drifting to sleep. Engine malfunction. You see, sometimes you'll get an alert that your engine's malfunctioning, and some people would say that's something that you need to worry about. But you see, the difference in most people and myself is that I don't worry about it. So when there's an engine malfunction, you know what that means? You got to get there faster. That's the first rule of trucking. Also, sometimes you get into these weird situations where there's 2-lane roads, but you know what? You can fit a truck in each lane, right? Look at that. You see that advanced technique? See that advanced technique? Watch this. Watch this. Blind curve, baby. Get in the left lane, and you just make it happen. You just make it happen. Boom. Boom. Car going too slow? You just go around it. You just go around it right like this. Let me show you how this works here. This is a super advanced technique. All right. You see a car in the other lane? Look at that. You see a cop? Now, if you see a cop, now there are some problems here. When you see a cop, you have to initiate alpha beta protocol. So what that means is that you go even faster than what you were doing originally. Because, as any good trucker knows, the police can never catch you. Okay, now cement trucks, they are known to cause problems on the road. You know, like whenever you see a cement truck, it's probably a good idea to try to knock them off the road. Because honestly, is a cement truck ever going to do anything good for the environment? Like, you know what that's doing? That's pollution. We just stopped pollution in its tracks. Are we gonna get paid for that? Are we gonna get the credit that we deserve? No. You know what? We know in our hearts that we did what needed to be done. So now with the cement mission completed, we can get back on track. Now, again, you know, you hear these strange noises, you know, you hear these things about engine malfunctions, but again, all that tells me is that we need to go a little bit faster. So we're gonna get going on our trip here, and we're gonna make some progress. Looks like it's 75 speed limit here, so we should be pretty good just to push it. You know, just hardcore push the gas pedal down. See, now we're making some progress. Look at this. And you guys didn't trust me. You should be ashamed. See, now you'll notice if you look around, there's actually some cacti. You know, the funny thing about cacti is that not many people know this, but they're actually government surveillance equipment. So inside almost every cactus, there's a few real ones out there just throw people off, but inside almost every cactus is actual satellite technology that allows the government to spy on the civilians that wander through the desert. You can look this up. It's a true story. I saw it on Facebook. All right, and there we go. We're actually hitting the speed limit finally. So, you know, we're feeling pretty good. As you can see here, this car is passing us. He's initiating what's called a bumper check. So what we're going to do is we're going to catch him, and then we're going to pass him back, and that shows the dominance of the road. Now, as you can see, there's coming up to what's known as a loop-de-loop and pull. Now, for these, your shoes do have to look pretty cool. See how I faked you out? You thought I was going to go right there, didn't you? But nope. I was ready. I was ready for the loop-de-loop. See, that's where an amateur driver would have made a mistake. They would have done the pull to the right. You know, they would have looked at the map, saw there was a curve coming up in about 10 minutes, and they would have taken the early right. But not me. See, now when you're going downhill like this, you can oftentimes get a little bit of momentum to push you around corners. I had to slow myself down there a little bit with the guardrail. You know, that's what they're there for, to kind of like brace you as you go around corners, of course. So don't worry about that. We're good. We have maintained our proper altitude here, so we're feeling pretty good. Now again, you may be worried that the engine malfunctioning is happening more often, and that is normal. That is normal. That's called a skill check. So the more engine malfunctions that you get, the higher your truck driver's skill is in real life. Now this is all talking about in real life. I don't know if it's in this game, because, you know, can a game really encompass the truck driving experience? I don't think so. But you know what? Pretty dang close, if I do say so myself. So we are going to go ahead and just keep pushing this baby all the way there. And the question is, how far are we out? So let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. All right, so it looks like we may have taken a wrong turn at Albuquerque back there. Looks like we added about an extra 400 miles to our trip, but you know what? We're feeling pretty good about it, and we are coming into Phoenix pretty soon. So, you know what? I don't have any complaints. I don't have any complaints here. Hey, there's a new store. Just opened. New store. Went to a new store once. Wasn't all it was cracked up to be. It's a lot of oldies but goodies, as they say. Goodies, the headache powder, of course. If anybody has just stopped into the stream, by the way, we do have a question of the day, which is, do you enjoy driving? Hey, look at that. Look at that fool. Got pulled over by a cop. See, you don't get pulled over in a truck. These truckers, they know how to get things done. All right, now you see here, this is called a wiggle woggle. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the momentum to turn the corner and go through the red light. So you see, one of the things again about being a trucker is that you have to establish road dominance. So part of that is taking over the entire roadway when it's necessary. Because sometimes, like, look at this guy. You see him challenging us? You see that challenge that he just put on us? You know what we're going to do? We're going to say, not happening, Global Mills. Not happening. We're actually just going to take over your spot. You like that? See? You see? Does that make you feel like a trucker now? Because if it doesn't, it should. So we actually are coming up to our destination here, so now we get to the good parts. Just keep in mind we're loading furniture, right? Yeah, we got some furniture. So how do I get back to the map? All right, here we go. We're at the supermarket, and then it should be right around the corner here. So we're gonna take the hard right turn through the parking lot. Okay, now you notice there are people that try to block your way sometimes. They even put trees in your way. But one of the things you have to learn is that obstacles are temporary. Progress is the future. Approach the entrance gate to get a clearance to bring the cargo... Well, I didn't read it at all. At the terminal, once you have selected your desired parking spot, proceed to park the trailer. At some terminals, you may choose an easier alternate spot. If you get in any trouble, you may also choose to complete the delivery automatically. A rectangular area will be highlighted on the ground and marked in route advisor as the place to park the trailer. Say what? What is this? Wait, is this it? Wait, what? I don't understand what I did wrong here. Hey, Hamlet. I mean, I know my driving skills are amazing. Oh, there we go. There we go. Press the following key to handle job delivery. A skilled truck driver can deal with maneuvering in tight space when dropping off a trailer. However, cargo safety is top priority. Negotiate with the dispatcher for a backup place to park the trailer. You know what we're gonna do? Let's play it safe, because I don't want to overwhelm you people too much with the advanced parking. Like there's many layers to it, so we're just gonna go with the first 2 layers here. So I want you to understand this is for you entirely. You know, I'm just toning it down for you people because I know you don't understand all the advanced trucking mechanics. You know, I don't want to overload you. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and move into this. Now, this is the hard part here. I want you to watch this. You'll see those squares on the ground. Just like in real life, you have to park on it. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. Can I get a round of applause? Can I get a round of applause? Unload and start playing on your own. Now I don't know actually how to unload here. Do I have to skip parking? Oh, am I not in the spot? Maybe I'm not in the spot. Okay, don't worry. You see these engine sputters? That's actually a sign of filtering out the bad oil. As you know, vehicles use oil, right? Yeah. So you see, this is all a pretty good sign. Yeah, see? Told you. It's all a good sign. All right, there we go. T. Okay. Like I said, this is an extremely advanced maneuver, so do not try this one out. Boom. This is called decoupling. This is the advanced mechanic. And look at that. Look at that, friends. is how you become an expert American truck driver. How's it going, Patch Bud? Welcome in. You online? I'm not sure what you mean by me online. If this game has online, I'm not aware of it. But I am streaming online, if that's what you mean. And again, we do have that question of the day for all you people. Do you enjoy driving? Someone spent weeks to make this game. Alright, let's go ahead and keep on moving here. Free as the wind. So this is your headquarters. It's a pretty basic garage, but it's a start. You haven't got anything to park here yet, so there are no trucks in sight. Once you've earned enough money and bought a truck, you'll be able to move in the world freely and run your own business. Good luck. Alright. Here you can see your progress. So, as you can tell, we chose a pretty realistic character. It looks like basically me in a couple years. So, here you can see your progress. Pick your next job. Okay, don't know what I'm looking at there. Pick your next job. Get hired as a professional driver, no fuss. Everything is provided for. Just pick a job and drive. Freight market. Earn money for your company using your own truck. Okay, so we can't do any of that, right? Yeah, so let's do a quick job. You love driving, Hamlet? Alright, so which one are we doing here, boys and girls? Which one are we doing? Which job are we doing? What are we thinking? What do you want me to do, Patch Bud? Which one are we doing? Which job are we doing here? What do you think, Hamlet? Alright, I'm making the decision. We're doing paint from Plaster and Sons. Hope you're ready for this one. Anything hazardous? I mean, let me tell you. If you're talking about paint and hazard, that's like, they're basically synonyms, if I'm being honest here. So we're going to take this job. Current job, paint. Because see, what a lot of people don't realize is that paint is integral to the survival of the American economy. Without paint, children would be starving. It's a true story. Okay, now the question is, how do I change my view? It was not F2. It was not F1. It was definitely not F3. It was F4. It was definitely not F4. What is F4? Light adjustment, mirror adjustment. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that existed. Anybody remember how we changed the view? Maybe we have to start first? Nope. How do we... Oh, it was just the numbers, right? Okay. Alright, so we're on 2. Okay, there we go. Alright. So here we go. See, now this is one of the things you also run into as a trucker. Sometimes they start you in maze-like environments. So one of the skills that you have to have is the ability to find your way out of these things. They treat you like a mouse in a science experiment. But you know what? Professional truck drivers such as myself, look at that. Look at that. Not a scratch, baby. That is how it's done. That is how it's done. Now you notice that we have chems on the side of our truck. So that lets other truckers know that that we have the goods, as they say. So this is a very, very, very important delivery. All right. So now we're going to do, like I showed you before, we're going to do the advanced speed techniques. So we're going to go as fast as humanly possible in order to save time, because time is money. I'm sure you've heard that before. Life motto right there, my friends. Life motto. Now, you see, some people may look at a speeding violation as a bad thing, but when you think about it, it's really like a badge of honor because it's saying that you were beyond anything that we expected. And you know what? We may have to pay money, but we're making so much money from the time saved, it's all worth it. Because again, time is money. Never forget that. See, now you'll notice these red lights. A lot of people think red means stop, but you know, a truck driver thinks like a bull. You know, they think like a bull. When they see red, does a bull stop? No. And I don't want to hear anything about this bulls are actually colorblind nonsense, because that's a load of bull. So now this is an advanced technique here. Sometimes you have to establish the road dominance like we saw there. So we didn't want this car to get in front of us because it could have you know, prevented or could have prevented the paint from properly setting. So we had to take a bit of an emergency maneuver there. So now going uphill is kind of like when we're biding our time, getting ready to strike. We're like a cat, right? We're leaning back, we're wiggling our tail, we're getting ready to jump. And then as soon as we hit that highway, Interstate 10, here we go. Now I'll show you this advanced technique here. This is called, I mean, it's based, this is really what we named our company after. Because remember, our company name is Drive Shift. So I'm going to show you here is an advanced drive shift. So this crazy thing happens sometimes, and it's referred to as drive shifting. So we're actually going to be going even faster than what you would expect here. You see this? You see this amazing maneuver here? Nothing can surpass us now. Nothing. Now you'll notice they also put up these distractions on the side of the road. This is one of the hardest things as a truck driver, honestly. I still struggle with this today, is like these pretty pictures that you see on the sides. It's like you want to just stop and admire them, but you know what? The job comes first. You can always come back later and look at the sunshine crops. You can always look at the world's most happy cattle later. You know it doesn't wait? Paint. Paint does not wait. And now we're in Arizona. So now Arizona, let me tell you about Arizona. Arizona is one of the craziest places you can ever drive a truck. You know why? Time zones. You know? You think time zones are simple, right? Wait till you get to Arizona. Arizona time zones don't exist. Arizona says, mountain time, what's that? Not happening. Arizona demanded their own time. They were kind of like the time lords of the states. And it's I know it's hard to believe, but Arizona time is a real thing. Look it up. So now let's take a look at our map here. And so as you can see here, this is a pretty long one. It's about a 2-hour drive. So we're making pretty good progress so far. Going about 65. So we're going to try to watch out for our adversaries on the road here. So what's been going on for you today, Hamlet? Inverted? Anybody else? What's been happening? Anybody have any special things going on today? So now one of the advanced techniques that you can do whenever you become an experienced truck driver as myself is called the shake-up. So you see this, how I'm kind of like jiggling to the side? That keeps the paint moist. Keeps the paint, from some stagnating. You gotta like stir it up a little bit, you know, kind of like when you get your milk out of the fridge in the morning. Yeah, you gotta give it that little shake just to make sure it's all swirled up in there. Same exact thing here. You gotta tilt back and forth a little bit to make sure the paint never settles, never sits in one place. Now again, you don't want to be trying it as a juvenile truck driver such as yourself. This is only an advanced technique. Hey, Thick, welcome in. You got second in a squats game. What game? Hamlet said you had ice cream last night and you're lactose intolerant, so you've been sick. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Hamlet. Hopefully it was mango habanero ice cream like I got recently. It was pretty good. Just working. Gotcha. We talking like Fortnite, or we talking PUBG? What are we talking about here, Thick? Fortnite? Okay. I don't know much about... Well, I mean, I know the basics of Fortnite, but it's never been something I've been interested in at all, really. It's just not my type of game. Actually, that's not true. It is my type of game, but it's just not one that I've chosen to ever invest my time in or anything like that. So as you can see here, we've actually already passed an hour, basically. Time flies when you're having fun, am I right? Am I right? Globe, 1 mile. See, sometimes you'll also see these challenge signs. So you'll see things that say, like, exit only. So one of the things as an advanced truck master, when you see an exit only, that allows you to do these advanced mechanics to basically take over the third lane. Now you see here, this person's challenging us. You see that? You see him challenging us? Look at that. Look at that, trying to knock us off the road. Are we taking that? Not happening, boy. You want not in a truck. These cops, I tell you. Trying to take over the road like they own it. El Paso. I El Paso'd you, copper. That's what I'm talking about. Make sure this paint doesn't settle back here. There we go. Get that little jiggle in there. Now, downtown. Don't get me started on downtown. They bring it around downtown, if you know what I mean. You heard of rock bottom? There's a reason we don't talk about that. See, now, it's sometimes hard to tell what is predator and what is prey in the truck world. It's like, this truck beside us, could it be a friend? You can never trust it, so you got to keep your distance. That's why there's the yellow lines there. It's kind of like a warning sign. It's like, hey, you know, we only have so much room over here, so we have to really take advantage of that extra room on the sides. All right, you hear that baby purring? You hear that engine malfunction? Makes my mouth water just hearing that. Those juicy oils just flooding. Whew. Sorry, maybe I got a little risque there, but it's as an advanced trucker, you know, you got to learn to enjoy these things. Hey, Shrimp Dog, welcome in. See, now as you can see here, sometimes as you're going through Arizona, due to their lack of a time zone, their foliage just develops a strange, almost cartoonish look to it. Now, I know what you're saying, like, this is photorealistic, and you're right, it is photorealistic. I mean, this is 100% an exact-to-life replication of what you would see in the environment as you're driving. So, you know, you know it's possible. You may not even be able to see it on the stream. Like, you may not even be able to see this, the detail of the grass and the bushes with, like, each leaf just being so delicately detailed. Like, I could go on and on about the beauty of everything that you can see here. It's just like real life. Like, really, like, it's just like real life. I wish I had some 3D glasses to make it pop out a little more. Ruby Road. It's right up there with Sapphire Creek, I believe. You definitely learn these roads by you learn the names by heart as you drive them for many years at a time. Never forget my first time crossing Ruby Road. A bunch of people in costumes started ranting to me about wanting to cover the earth and land and get rid of the oceans, but I ignored them and kept on driving because you know what? Those 10-year-old children handle things like that, and we are on Mariposa Drive now. Now, sometimes you'll pass the Skittles truck. Now, what is a Skittles truck? Skittles is how you taste the rainbow. Hey, we discovered Nogales. Skittles truck, that is a friend. That is someone you can trust in at all times. Like, I know if I was ever in trouble, the Skittles truck would be there. So you have to value those people. Now, people in convertibles. Now, they're the wild cards. Sometimes you can trust them, sometimes you can't. Now, we're going to come up here. We're going to call what's doing a split. Now, watch this technique. You have to slide in between the vehicles in what's called the 2.5 lane. It's kind of like the middle lane, but it's not exactly right. Okay. Now, I did come to a stop, and I know what you're saying. I messed up, but I didn't. Remember that paint? Remember the paint? Sometimes the paint has to really get a little bit of that time to just kind of ferment there to really get the moisture out of it. So, do not be deceived. Everything you're seeing is an advanced trucker move, 100% intentional. See, not everybody can turn a truck at a 90-degree angle like this, but you know what? That's what years of experience will get you. Yeah, I know what you're saying. We need gas. And you know what? You're right. We're going to go get some gas right now. Just going to get this gas. Hear that baby purr? Nothing quite like feeding your baby, am I right? Feel like I'm breastfeeding it myself right here. Does that just make you feel warm inside? Alright. We gotta start the engine back. And we can't take too much time for dessert. Sometimes you just have to... Can't have too much of a good thing, you know? That's what my daddy always told me. Shortly before the overdose, but, you know, things happen. Things happen. See, and your fuel expenses are covered by your employer. That's a true story. That's one of the valuable things. Never feel like you have enough fuel. It's always going to take a little extra. I usually spray a little bit around the tires to, you know, clean it off a little bit, keep the dirt and debris down. Something else you learn as a trucker is all the many uses of gasoline. Sometimes you've heard of those trucker baths. Gas is one of the primary ingredients in that. Now we actually are coming up to our destination here, so hope you're ready to see the extremely advanced maneuvers that's going to be required to park this baby. You thought it was rough before, but you've never been in Arizona. Plaster and Sons. Hearing those squeaks makes you tingle. Makes you tingle. Let me take a look at the map here a second. Alright. So what we're going to do here is we are going to do we're going to do a diagonal 2.5 split. So what you're seeing here, again, don't try this at home, boys and girls. So you use the parking lot along with the boulders to give you the perfect alignment. That way you can properly angle yourself around the robo shop to go into Plasters and Sons. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. How is he this good? And you know, I'll take that compliment because, you know, I understand. I understand that this might be intimidating for those new in the world of trucking. But you know what? Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it with enough practice. See, this is called the acute maneuver. See, what I'm doing is I'm corralling the vehicles here into a position where they will be safe, just in case, you know, something were to happen at Plasters. You know, what if Plasters does not take care of the paint and it explodes? You know, like somebody has to be watching out for the nearby vehicles, and you know, I can't watch out for all of them, but you know, a couple of them is the least I can do. Least I can do. All right, but we can't spend too much time on this, so we do have to go ahead and take our delivery where it needs to be. Have to take it where it needs to be. All right, I know what you're saying. Like, how does he have such a delicate touch? And, you know, it's one of those things again. Like, after you do this for a few years, it just comes naturally. It just comes naturally. So you can become this good. You can become this good. Now I will say, speaking of too much of a good thing, you know, engine malfunctions, you know, those are all nice and dandy and good, but there does come a time when you have to just say, you know, I gotta limit myself a little bit. So we may have to actually go do what's called a tune-up. Not confused with tune-up. You always hear the joke, you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. That's where it comes from. That's where it comes from. True story. Like I said, this is a very, very, very delicate maneuver. So again, don't feel bad if you're in a situation like this and you don't have the expertise to do exactly what I'm doing here. Here we go. Here we go. Alright. Now that I have everything safely corralled where I need it to be, we should be able to go ahead and go forward into the lumberyard. Yeah, now sometimes Walbert here, he tries to trick you. He has a sign that says delivery only. So you're like, oh, I bet you I can take my delivery here. Never fall for Walbert's traps. Like, it's every time. Every time I come here, it's like the same thing. It's like they just ride it on the ground, like expecting you to believe it. But after the first couple times, I learned my lesson. I was like, you know, fourth time's the charm. So, Walbert, you ain't getting me again. Never got me again to this day. Alright. Gonna go ahead and choose our parking strategy here. Feel that gentle rumbling. And gotta finesse it at the end. Yeah, you gotta give it that little love tap here. Boom. Boom, baby. We're almost golden. Sometimes getting the little tip at the top to align is sometimes a challenge. It's always just the tip. Here we go. We're almost in there. And beautiful. Beautiful. Decoupling. Boom. That's how it's done, boys and girls. That is how it's done. Now, I'm sure that you all have many questions out there. So, I mean, if you have any other questions for a truck master such as myself, feel free to ask, and I'll gladly answer any concerns that you have. All right, we're going to continue on here. Keep track of your garages. Hire new drivers and otherwise manage your company from here. The bank. This is the bank. Oh, we have emails? Need money? We can help. Overdraft settled. Your account is overdrawn. Alright. I guess we go ahead and just pick another job. Actually, wait. Can I? Can't do any of this, right? Yeah, can't do that. Okay. Alright, job market. Quick job. Alright, what are we thinking this time, friends? What are we thinking? What are we thinking, Shrimp Dog? What kind of delivery are we doing here? Gypsum? Don't even get me started on those gypsums. Flour? Raw milk? Can we say no to raw milk? The only thing better than raw milk is bull milk, but that's another story for another day. Yep, raw milk, you know it. Alright, here we go. We're gonna do some raw milk, baby. We're doing it. How do I accept this job? Oh, I did, okay. You know, a lot of people don't understand the difference in raw milk and the milk that you normally drink. The difference in raw milk is that the eggs haven't hatched yet. So that's how you can always tell like a true raw milk. Because once the eggs hatch, then it just loses that raw, unadulterated power. Yeah, don't even get me started on eggnog. That's another story for another day. Alright, here we go. This is pathway 8. It's called the Crazy Eights. Because things get pretty insane out here sometimes. And we're gonna try to keep it we're gonna try to keep it going to San Diego, but you never know. See that thing out in the distance there? Some people think it's an unidentified aircraft. You see it around here very often. I call it a fly swatter. You should see the gnats it takes down. You don't really see those things in the wild very often, but you can see it like circling its prey there. It's insane what Mother Nature creates, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Look at that beautiful thing. Those wings. Oh, see? First, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? You get distracted by things at the side of the road just like that, you can be taken out. Yeah, you didn't know about the nogs? Yeah, so it's a crazy thing, right? A lot of people don't realize this. But an egg really it's kind of like an onion. You know, it has layers upon layers upon layers. So there's actually about 6 layers to an egg. There's, of course, the shell. Everyone knows that. Then there's the epidermis. And then there's the yolk. And then there's the plasma. And then there is the nog. So now the nog is kind of like the core energy of the egg. Now, some people say this is pseudoscience, but you know, as an American truck guru, I have a lot of I guess you could say expertise in the nog field. You know, I'm always nogging here, nogging there, if you know what I'm saying. So now the thing about milk too. Is that in order for the nogs not to like kind of split, you do have to you really have to keep your gravitational field balanced as you're on the highways like this. So you're going to notice I'm spending a lot of time kind of in between both lanes, because you know not a lot of people know this, but as an American truck black belt, you know the dotted lines are where the magnetic field splits between the north and south hemisphere. So that's how you know that everything is like in place. So like if I stay too far in the left lane, the milk could spoil. If I spend too much time in the right lane, the milk could boil. It's like the spoil-boil conundrum. You may have heard about it in school plenty of times. It's kind of like the same thing in math class, you know. Too far to the 1s, too far to the 3s, the spoil-boil conundrum. I know. You don't want to hear about math. That's enough. But so that's why you'll see this technique. I know it looks a little obtuse, but you know, sometimes you got to do things as an American truck driver. You know, even for you newblings. So now, sometimes you'll have these double-decker buses. They're sent by Burger King. Sometimes you can actually get a good meal out of them, but generally speaking, I don't bother with those because I mean, if I'm hungry, I have a truck full of milk. You know what I'm saying? I can just grab a nog and go noggin. Just don't nog off. Welcome in, Angel 2020 on the YouTube side. All right, so we're gonna keep on trucking here. You know, funny story about how that phrase came about. Keep on trucking. Had nothing to do with trucks. It's actually before trucks were invented. It's back when they had horses and carriages. So some of the hipsters, as the kids would call them nowadays, they used to use wild elk instead of horses as they were building their home on the range. So not a lot of people know that. You know, they don't really share that in the history books. You know, censoring history and all that, the government for you. But you know, call me a conspiracy theorist if you want. But you know what? I know the truth, and the truth will set you free. All right, so we're going to go ahead and try to get into the middle magnetic force here again. Santa Claus was actually a trucker. Santa Claus being a trucker is actually how he came to rule the North Domain. Some people call it the North Pole, because he was like he had mastered this. I hate to say it, but Saint Nick, he was actually better at this than me, and because he was able to like perfectly control the magnetic forces of, I mean, it wasn't just milk. I mean, he was controlling the magnetic forces of freaking Energizer bunnies. You know what I'm saying? Those little rabbits are hopping around everywhere back there, and he somehow did it. So I give my props to Saint Nick. He's a jolly old soul, and man, he's kind of like the truck driver's dream. It's like, why do truck drivers have beards? Look at Santa. Santa have a beard? Like, what am I saying? Do vultures fly in the woods? Like, come on. So now, this route here, I am going to admit, it is perhaps a more of a simplistic route. You don't often run into the drivers that try to challenge you here. This is more of like a family-friendly route. Maybe a PG-13 route, if you will. Now, if you go off-road, though, if you go off the main roads here through the towns and stuff, you're running into some pretty sketchy places. Tons of artists there. Now, Yuma's a pretty good spot. There's a lot of good people, a lot of good truckers in Yuma. Now, the other thing that's in Yuma are what we like to call the bane of the trucker. It's also known as the Best Buy. Now, what does Best Buy have to do with truckers? Absolutely nothing, and that's the problem. They don't support us. We don't support them. Because you know what? You can't buy a truck at Best Buy, so it's not the Best Buy. Like, it's that simple. You know what I'm saying? Now, this technique here, it's going to come up out of nowhere, but I want you to watch this very, very specifically. See, the sign is there as a breaking point here, just to make sure that you don't kind of, lose it over that hill there, because there's nothing more dangerous. So now, once we have established road dominance here, we'll have to create the blockade, of course. Then we can do this technique to kind of spin around here a bit. Alright, so now that we've established this, we're able to go exactly where we need to. Boom, baby. You seeing this? Like I said, this route is not the most complex, but if you know what you're doing, you can definitely pull out a couple things. That's called the 4th Avenue Tango, is actually what the elders call it there. How do I do that again? There we go. Alright. So now we're making some progress here. Colorado River. I remember when me and my first ex-wife actually came out here. Colorado River, back when it was actually the Colorado Stream. Grew up so fast. We actually came up here to go skinny dipping back in the 70s. True story. That was back whenever the hipsters were first born. Never forget old Woodstock. It's kind of crazy to think that Charlie Brown was that popular that they would have an entire celebration based around a bird. You know what I mean? But, that's life is weird sometimes. Life is weird. All right. Now, sometimes as you're driving about in the real world, this is actually a pretty good representation here. You'll see these things that kind of look like flashing X's. Now, IRL, I will say, they're a little brighter. They're a little easier to see. But that tells you kind of that's out of your territory. That's in the danger zone. So generally speaking, you want to avoid those pathways. I mean, you can take them if you want to, but for the sake of this training video, we're gonna stick to the like I said, the family-friendly routes. Through the mountains. The mountains are one of the more how do I put this nicely? It's more of the learner zones. It's a lot of just loops and stuff. It's pretty easy to just kind of, if there's a mountain, you got to get down the mountain. I mean, it's like 10 seconds and you're down the mountain. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, It is what it is. You know, I'm not going to fault anybody for trying mountains, but that's a little under my pay grade, if you know what I mean. All right, so as you can see here, we're actually almost here already. So we're having a pretty simple trip overall. Oh, you like that? That's called the bump stock. The bump stop. Now, Eddie's. Let me tell you about old Uncle Eddie. He's a good guy. He is a good guy, old Uncle Eddie. We always do a quick pit stop here because it's right across the road from it. So they have a really good magazine section. Also, some pretty good snacks here too. Highly recommend stopping at Eddie's if you're ever up in this way. It is your best family market. Like, you know, they live up to the name. They truly live up to the name. But you know what? Eddie's is, as always, somewhere that you can't spend all your time. You know, I'm one of those people that would probably, you know, spend every dollar to my name in Eddie's if I had the opportunity. But you know, you got mouths to feed, you got bills to pay. So, ain't no rest. Ain't no rest for the trucker. All right. This is what we call the cylindrical pole. So as you can see here, this is one of the more. It's kind of something that you learn early, but that you don't encounter often, and that's how do you get a square peg through a circular hole. You know what I'm saying? And so this is kind of how it's done here. So if you pay very close attention, you'll see exactly how this is done. Making some good progress here. Extremely fast time-wise, actually. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Kind of primed it, and now we're just gonna slam it in there, baby. We're gonna slam that cylinder in there. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that guy watching out for us back there, letting us know if we got too close to the building. You know, that's the thing. Like, that's Eddie's for you, man. Every person just watches out for you. They have your back. You can always trust in Eddie's. Now, I will say the only thing I don't like about Eddie's is that you got to put a penny in their shopping carts, and that's kind of a ripoff if you ask me. But you know, no, I get it. Eddie has to make a living. Can't sell just liquor all day long. All right, here we go. Here we go. Now we're almost in position here to do a pretty cool thing. Now this is called a cylindrical drop-off. This is where you pull a 90-degree twist, and then you pop it back in at just the right angle, literally a right angle, and then it allows you to kind of do things that you didn't think were humanly possible. Boom, baby. There we go. Alright, we're going to do a little bit of corralling here. They actually, this was actually, you may have seen this before in the National Lampoon's movie. It was actually one of the ones that kind of was really supportive in the early days of the truck corralling kind of birth, I guess you could say, you know, like the creation. Alright, so this is what you call rail export. They actually, weirdly enough, don't deal in rails anymore. They don't deal in rails. They only deal in train tracks. All right. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and keep it safe. Finally lost that little last strand of sanity. I don't know what you're saying, my friend. I mean, I get what you're saying, you know. As a juvenile truck driver, you know, it may seem impossible. You know, it may seem impossible to do the things I'm doing, but like I said, a little bit of practice, you know, really studying the video, and, you know, even you can get there. Even you can get there. Welcome in Mind Mars on the YouTube side. Boom. Decoupling, baby. That is how it's done. Job completed. Very reasonable too. Very reasonable price. We had to stop at 80s. We did a lot there. Oh, all right. Now I know what you're saying. These training videos can't last too long, and you know you have a point. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do one more example here. Hey, Brant, welcome in. Never forget when you used to try hard. Very true. Oh, the skill points. We're obviously doing fragile cargo. I mean, there's no question. Oh, there's actually like truck upgrades and stuff you can do now. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So you can buy engines and stuff. Alright, whatever. We're not worried about that. You know, that'll be in instructional video number 2. I'll show you all about the truck upgrades and stuff. For now, we're just looking for the quickies here, the quick jobs here. Alright. Now yogurt's another one. It's very similar to the raw milk. Not as many nogs with that though. Alright, so I think what we're gonna do here, we're gonna do some tires. So now, I know what you're saying, you're too tired for tires, you know, I hear it all the time, but I know the techniques. I know all about the rim jobs, as they call them here, so I'm gonna show you what it means to really roll it here. So we're pretty good. So let me show you here. So now you'll see this truck. We are the Skittles truck. That's the surprise I wanted to say for you. I know what you're saying. You thought Skittles was just their friend, but we also are the Skittles company. And you know, just like Skittles is like a rainbow, just like exploding in your mouth. Truck driving is also kind of like that in the same way. Like truck driving is a lot of just you know, getting punched in the teeth. That's really what it's like. And as an advanced truck master, you know, I've dealt with a lot of tires. I've dealt with a lot of rubber in my past, and really the first rule of truck driving, honestly, and I probably should have told you this before, is to always use your protection. Because if there's one thing that you don't want, is a flat tire. Busty tires are the only way to really make a living nowadays. It's just true. It's just true. All right. So now this is this route. This is going to be one of the more advanced ones. You know, a lot of people say that this is a crazy one to even attempt, but you know, again, an American truck master such as myself, you know, if I was you know, Chilean truck driver, I don't think it'd be happening here. But again, we're in Arizona, so don't have to worry about time zones. We are good. But you know what? I just realized I have my mirrors off. This shows how experienced I am. I don't even need my mirrors, you know what I'm saying? You should play Quern. Quern. It's like Miss, but much harder. Oh, okay. That sounds interesting. I like the idea of that, Hamlet. You have a friend who actually has a legit rig set up for this game or something? That's crazy. Definitely not my type of game. I get way too in depth. Honestly, it's actually a little more approachable than I expected, truthfully. But anyway, here. So, as an American truck driver extraordinaire, there's so much that there is to learn, but you gotta learn it. You gotta put the rubber on the road, you know, and that's where the tires really come in. So, one of the upgrades that you can actually get for the truck is called the bouncy tires, and it actually gives you a bit of a rumble as you go. You kind of just hopping and bouncing. We call that the jackrabbit. I won't be showing that today. That'll probably be in part 4 of our instructional video series, but just be on the lookout for that. So there's a lot of different tire mechanics out there, both in person and in theory. So, you know, that's another thing that we'll probably cover in part 2 of our instructional video series is mechanics and how they always try to burn a hole in your pocket. You know, so I've learned my lesson here. So now you'll see on the edges of the road here, there's what's called the fire ridges. Now this will probably be in part 3, but if you can get your tire to rub across this for long enough, you can actually create what's called an infra-rainbow. It's kind of like an inferno, kind of like a rainbow, an infra-rainbow. And it's a beautiful, beautiful sight. But it is technically, it's borderline illegal, because it's honestly, like, it's such a beautiful sight that a lot of motorists just can't handle the sight, and you know, they may get distracted. So just something, you know, for now it's legal, but in the future, you know, you got to watch out for that. It just is one of those things. So now the other thing that you have to watch out for whenever you're hauling tires like this is that the tires really make it so that you kind of are just, you know, you're a little bouncy in your seat and stuff. You know, you're like, you try to go left, you go right. It's called the Wobbuffet. It's called the Wobbuffet, and it's just kind of like this mirror that's just coated in like this rubber that you just have to watch out for and not get bounced all over. So one of the more advanced things you have to watch out for again. No, it doesn't make a noise. You know, I've heard other people say that before, but after testing it in real life for years, there's no sound whatsoever for, you know, like whenever you hit the sides of the road or anything. But, you know, that does depend upon on your rig. You know, as you said, as an advanced truck, American advanced truck driver, I have my tires rigged out in a way that they make no noise whatsoever, as you can see here in our instructional video series. Not a peep. We call that the silent night. At least that's what I call it. Now, one of the things you're asking, you know, like where, like trains. You know, trains are an interesting thing because trains often invoke a sense of rage, a sense of challenge. A train, you know, kind of makes you want to just go off the rails, and it's one of those things that as you get more experience in the American truck driving world, it definitely doesn't affect you as much. But you know, unless they have the caboose. You know, you wonder why you don't see the caboose nowadays. And it really is, honestly, it's because of the feudal ties between the truck driving empire and the train shoguns, really. Because the caboose was kind of like the ultimate disrespect. It was kind of like saying, like, hey, I have a truck on my tail end, you know, like, kiss my caboose type thing. And, you know, that's a story for another day, but long story short, truckers won. So if you see a caboose out there, you just know that they're rebelling. Now, drink, drive, and lose. Now, there's this funny story behind that, because if there's one thing as an American truck driver extraordinaire that you gotta learn to do, is drink and drive at the same time. I don't care if we're talking about Dr. Pepper, we talking about Corona, we talking about, you know, Red Bull, just no White Claw. No White Claw. Now, we all know why that is. I don't have to go into that. Hey, Ken, welcome in. So one of the things that you'll learn as, actually, you know, I can actually show you here, as we go into the different viewpoints for our American truck simulation. So one of the things that you have to watch out for whenever you're in a truck like this is you have to be able to drive without using your hands. And so that's one of the first things that you will have to master. So as you can see here, This rig is one of the more advanced ones. It actually goes off of it's a combination of brain waves and body odor. Those two kind of conjoin into this a seismic force that is ejected forward, and it allows you the ultimate control over the steering wheel. It's also very important to never look at the gauges that you see on the what they call the this front plastic view here, because sometimes if you pay attention too much to those, you can get very, very disoriented. Because you think they're going to be ticking around like a clock, but then sometimes they go left, and you're like, "What's going on here?" So it's very important not to fall into the trap of those. That is something I've been trying to get removed from trucks for years, but like, what can one man do? I may be the king of all truck drivers in the American world, but what are they going to listen to me for? You'll also notice this is a Peterbilt. That's actually the Peter. Who am I talking about? Peter Griffin, Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Spider-Man actually heavily invested in these trucks years ago, because interestingly enough, the Daily Bugle was actually the ones who first started this endeavor, and really enabled us to really get off the ground in the trucking world. Like, if it wasn't for Quad J, as we call him, I don't know if we'd be here today. So it's never something to forget like that. All right. So now you'll also notice another thing that a lot of these juvenile motorists do, and that is that they'll use their lights when it gets dark, and it's like, okay, you want easy mode? Like, this is real life. Like, if there's one thing that I've learned in my 27 years of trucking, it's that lights are nothing but a hindrance. Because you know how you wear down your battery? Using your lights. It's like, what's more important? A little bit of vision in front of me, or an extra 3% battery life over the course of 6 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even a conversation to have. So lights, again, I understand if you're a newbie, as the kids say. I understand sometimes you gotta turn those little lights on. But like I said, as an American truck entrepreneur, I've really got to say that's it. Kind of looks bad on you, man, and I highly encourage you to get out of that habit as fast as possible. So, all right. So now here we're gonna do what's called the stop, drop, and roll. So I've done the stop. So now we're gonna do the drop. Feel that? Feel the drop? Feel that? That's like the seismic toss. It's just like perfectly even level here. And here we go. Look at that. Now we do the roll. You see those wheels? They're rolling. They're rolling. Love it. All right. So now we're actually just about to our destination, and I know what you're thinking. Walbert? What did I tell you? Is Walbert not always trying to cause problems, no matter what? Look at that. Look how easy it would be to pull in there without knowing. But again, as an American truck mastermind, it's just simply that. Like, I don't fall for Walbert anymore. Like I said, those first 5 or 6 drives, it was honestly a struggle. But Walbert and myself kind of have a mutual understanding now. I'm not allowed on the premises. He's not allowed my truck. Kind of a win-win, honestly. So I hope that this kind of in the cockpit view has really worked it out. It's always people always ask me, why is it called a cockpit? That's a story for another day. But it does involve chickens, and we're gonna leave it at that. We are gonna leave it at that. So, okay, we'll go ahead and go into the over the top view here to help you see orientation and everything here. And boom, look at that. So now this you will run into sometimes when the truck dealer is closed, and drink. You know what? I'll drink just for you, Ken. Please call truck care? Nah, Truck Care is really a ripoff, honestly. So now you do run into this situation sometimes where the truck dealer is closed. And so this is all really about establishing what's called air superiority. And so what you can do is sometimes you can kind of lurk around and get a stealth attack sometimes if you do it right. So that's what we're going to do right now, is try to avoid the cells obstacles here, and just see if we can get a little bit of the advantage going for us here. Drinking and driving, like I said, that's a juvenile technique. Truck service. We don't need to read this. Alright, there we go. We'll do service. Repair. Boom. It's that easy. Like repairing, like I said, repairing is not something you should commonly do. It's not something you should really worry about as a truck driver. But every once in a while, you know, you got to put on a new coat of paint. So, you know, even the best of us, It's no quiplash. Yeah, I know what you mean. So what do you do when the truck dealership is closed? And honestly, this is, you know, since we already went over how to sleep while driving, you know, a lot of people would say just take a nap, but you know, you're not really going to be able to take a nap after you've had so much rest on your like 6-hour drive. So this is where Sudoku comes in. If you ever heard of brain age, it's one of the most important aspects. All right, so we're gonna do a, you know, I've been taking it easy, but I'm gonna show you how it's done here with the advanced driving techniques here. So I hope you're ready for this, because this is not something you see every day. You know, not everybody can handle the advanced maneuvers like this. So we are gonna go ahead and do this to really close out this instructional video series with I mean, what can only be described as the work of a master. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. See, one of the tricks is to get enough speed when you're in a driveway, like a parking area as they call this, to be able to really do the whip and the nene as they call it. So you just saw the whip, and now this is what's referred to as the nene. So this is kind of tricky here. You got to be very, very careful. There are little guides on the side, so if you get stuck, you can always just kind of reorganize. All right. So we have the whip completed. So let's see if we can get the first neigh, and then we'll try for the second neigh. Look at that, Superman, baby. What did I tell you? Now you see, this is where they trip you up sometimes, because you look at that and you think, oh, I have to back into that. Not happening. What you do here is what's called the side hustle. See, with the Skittles, this is where you can usually kind of reach in the back, grab a handful, and really get that energy boost that you need to get through the day. So now that we have consumed the Skittles, we can actually just pull in here exactly like it asks us to. You can see this. You can see this advanced technique here. This is what's called the Gangnam style, made famous by the Dwight D. Gangnam, which was I believe it was the 22nd president of the United States. You have to look that up. I can't remember the numbers. But all right, and there you go. Look at that. Look at that. Has there ever been a better instructional video for truck driving? Like, I mean, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. And I know what you're saying. This all is a lot to take in at once. And you know, I agree with you. And if you don't think you can handle it, then maybe this is not for you. So, but again, shout out to the sponsors and everyone else that helped make this instructional video series a reality. Thank you for your support. All right. So anyway, friends, that was American Truck Simulator. That was something. Now I know it's a little shorter than what I said I was gonna do. I said I was gonna go 2 hours, but not much to this game. Well, actually, there's a ton of this game, but for me, somebody who doesn't care about like getting into the depths of it, there's not like a lot else that we haven't really experienced. It's a lot more customization and stuff. So I think that's where we're gonna call it today. A little bit of a shorter stream, I know, but hopefully Tater, you guys enjoyed it. I try to do a little bit of a different style video, kind of like an improv style thing. So hopefully you people enjoyed the random stuff I came up with off the top of my head. So let me know if you'd like to see more like this. You know, I'm not the best at it, but I try. And hopefully I made you giggle a time or two, Hamlet. Alright. But yeah, friends, thanks again for being here. We'll be back. Let's see, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, so my new schedule is starting up this weekend. So I'm going to be off Friday, Saturday. So I'm going to go ahead and start the stream schedule on Saturday. So I'm going to take tomorrow off from streaming, and then we'll be back on Saturday with another indie day, which will probably be like Bug Fables or something. And then we'll be back on Monday, and we'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday Jackpot. So kind of like what we had going there for a little bit before, so should be good. But again, friends, thanks for hanging out. I very much appreciate all of you for being awesome, and I will see you next time for something not American Truck Driving Simulator, or whatever this game was. So. It hurt my soul. But good night, friends. Stay wholesome.